Welcome to the Walker Commercial Vehicle Garage. We're here today to show you how to install a Walker Megaflow Noisebreaker muffler on a 2007 Century Class Freightliner. Heavy-duty trucks over 10,000 pounds are regulated by the Noise Control Act, which limits noise output to 83 decibels for trucks manufactured after 1985. Although the regulation takes into account noise from fan, air intake systems, drivetrain, tires, and exhaust, the exhaust can easily be the highest offender of these 5 groups. The Walker Megaflow Noisebreaker muffler combines an open-style free design with CRF, also known as continuous roving fiberglass, that reduces back pressure while quieting engine brake noise to legal limits. Continuous strand roving fiberglass is a type of fiberglass that uses a long single strand of fiberglass as opposed to shortcut strands. This helps prevent the fiberglass from blowing out the exhaust and helps to reduce undesirable noise. We'll begin by taking the vehicle for an initial road test. For the initial road test, we're going to decelerate the truck from 50 miles an hour as we measure the sound decibels from the roadside and at the exhaust outlet. Please note, EPA regulations for this vehicle are 83 decibels, measured at 50 feet. During the test drive, we measured 82.8 decibels during the roadside deceleration test. Before we begin the installation, we'll inspect the entire exhaust system for leaks, and we'll also inspect all the components that will mate up to the new muffler. Tip: now would be a good time to spray all nuts and clamps with penetrating oil, which will help in the removal process. We'll start at the front of the vehicle to inspect for cracks in the exhaust manifold. We'll also check for leaking gaskets between the head and exhaust manifold and between the manifold and turbo. Next, we'll inspect the turbo downpipe and its connections. So far, all these components look good. Now we'll inspect the front flex along with the straight pipe and elbow running on top of the frame. Note, you'll want to use a bright light to look for traces of carbon indicating a leak. Since most Class 8 trucks come equipped with cab suspensions, we want to closely examine the flex pipe running from the exhaust mounted to the frame of the vehicle and connecting to the muffler. This flex pipe moves up and down constantly as the vehicle drives down the road, which can result in fatigue-type failure, cracks, and leaks. Here you can see where the flex pipe is leaking at the base of the bend. Now we'll inspect the elbow supporting the muffler, and stack pipe. Don't forget to check all hangers, bushings, and brackets supporting these components. We can inspect the heat shield and articulating bracket. Make sure you inspect the bushings in the articulating bracket for wear. Next, we'll closely check all the seams and welds for leakage. During the inspection, we assembled an itemized list of all required components. Visit walkerheavyduty.com to access our online catalog that lists clamps and accessories required to install our Megaflow Noisebreaker muffler. Now that we have everything we need, let's begin by removing the old system. We'll start by loosening the clamp connecting the flex pipe to the pipe on the frame. Since the pipe on the frame is in good condition, we'll replace all of the components from this point back. Next, we'll remove the single nut washer and cushion from the bracket supporting the weight of the muffler at the lower elbow. Then we'll remove the articulating bracket that attaches the muffler to the cab and lift the entire muffler assembly from the vehicle. Now that the muffler is more accessible, we'll remove any brackets that we'll be reusing on the new muffler. Now that we've removed the old worn components, we'll begin the installation by laying out components in the order that they are to be installed on the vehicle. We'll start with the installation of the flex pipe. Walker flex pipe is sold in a variety of popular diameters, lengths, and materials. Sizes range from 1 inch to 6 inches in diameter, and pre-cut lengths are 12, 18, 24, and 48 inches. Bulk lengths come in 6, 10, and 25 feet. Flex pipe is offered in galvanized steel for use up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. Aluminized steel is offered for use up to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit, and stainless steel is offered for prolonged high-temperature operation. Walker FlexLock construction provides leak-free performance while maintaining a highly flexible tube design. Walker's design uses an extension compression ratio of at least 20% to make it easier to install. Next, we'll measure the flex pipe to prepare for cutting to length. We'll begin by taking a measurement from the intermediate pipe to the elbow. It's important to make sure you allow for travel in the cab suspension. To do this, we'll disconnect the air leveling valve and manually force it through full extension and compression. Also, make sure that you add 6 inches to the overall length to allow for a 3-inch overlap at each connection. When comparing the new pipe to the pipe you're replacing, make sure both parts are fully extended. The flex pipe can now be cut to length. For optimal installation, install tubing in its natural lie state, midway between fully compressed and fully extended. This provides the most workable range and the longest service life of the flex tubing after installation. To determine natural lie, bend the tube as much as possible against the edge of the workbench. Now push the entire tube against the table until straight to reach its half extension or natural lie. Keep these tips in mind while installing flex pipe. Use stainless steel in high heat areas, for example around a turbo outlet. Avoid severe angles. Flex pipe should not be used to replace elbows. Strap clamps should be used to make flex pipe connections. Walker makes a number of different style clamps for various applications. The most common is the saddle clamp, which is designed to form a mechanical lock between the two pipes by actually forming a metal groove or ring into the two parts. Many heavy trucks use band clamps, which can be used to join inlet diameter or outlet diameter pipes or butt joints. Most heavy trucks use V-band clamps for pressurized connections at the turbocharger. The next style we'll discuss is the narrow band clamp designed for slit connections. This style of connection allows the part to be serviced without permanent distortion of the pipes. Next, we can attach the heat shield, articulating bracket, stack pipe, and elbow to the muffler. Try to align the components in the same orientation as the original assembly. Make sure you do not insert the stack pipe too far into the muffler, as this may prevent the muffler from functioning properly or at all. You should make sure the clamps are snug but not overly tight, since we may need to adjust these once we have everything in position. Next, we'll set the assembly in position on the vehicle and attach the articulating bracket. Then we'll attach the flex pipe to the original straight pipe running along the frame of the truck. Now that everything is in place, we'll make our final adjustments and tighten all the clamps securely. Finally, we'll make sure that the heat shield assembly doesn't interfere with the articulating bracket as the cab moves through its full travel. Now that the installation is complete, we'll start the engine, checking for leaks at all connections. Now we'll go on the final test drive. During deceleration, we experienced 80.5 decibels from the roadside. This was a 2.3 decibel reduction during deceleration. To put this into perspective, if we would have had 2 trucks driving by simultaneously, the sound level would typically have increased by 3 decibels over the single truck, and most people perceive a 10 decibel increase as being twice as loud. That's it. We've completed the Walker Megaflow Noisebreaker muffler installation on a 2007 Century Class Freightliner. Not only will the operator enjoy quiet operation, but he or she also may experience improved engine operating efficiency. For more information about Walker Megaflow Noisebreaker mufflers, please visit www.walkerheavyduty.com.